taking, I think, probably in the history of television, and considered by many, many people to be the finest thing ever to appear on your picture tube. I would be one of those people, most assuredly. I hope that you can go to the phone right now and call, because this is going to be your last chance. This is it, okay? You've paused and halted for 3 days. Now is the last opportunity to go and subscribe your dollars next to a program that really has no peer. Not by any stretch of the imagination has anything been put on television, certainly not on public television, of the epic proportions of Ken Burns' effort to bring us the history of the Civil War. It has been an opportunity for you to sit in your living room with the people you love and to understand a most important part of our history, and to understand why we are where we are. We have some great premiums for you. If you can qualify for a premium, if you can subscribe at that level, good. Please do that. But most of all, support the program. It doesn't get better than this. And isn't that what we're here for, to try and build more quality television for PBS? I think that's it. It better be what it is. We have the Civil War book at the $150 level. I don't want to hold it up too high there. And that's a marvelous one-volume book, history of the Civil War, 418 pages, and done with the cooperation of Ken Burns. At the $75 level, we have the compact disc of the soundtrack of this series, that tremendous music and what an impact that had on the series. At the $45 level, we have the audio cassette, and then at the $500 level, we have all of the tapes, 9 of them, 11.5 hours of absolutely magnificent television viewing. And as I mentioned before, I've seen this 4 times. I saw something new in the last segment again. And you will find that. So help me, you'll find it as often as you watch it. You'll say, I didn't see that before. I didn't hear him say that before. It is that packed with information. We hope that this is just the start of what could happen on public television. You know, they talk about this tremendous revolution that's going to happen in television. Well, let it be at this level, okay? With your dollars, it can be possible. Now here's a word from the people who, along with you, were the underwriters of tonight's program.
Major corporate funding for the Civil War is provided by General Motors and its Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, GMC truck divisions, and GMAC. General Motors, committed to excellence. Funding is also provided by the National Endowment for the Humanities, which supports scholarship, research, education, and public programs. Also the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations, and by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
And it will be by you the next time that you see a quality program of this nature coming from the pen of Ken Burns, because he is staying with public television, because he was allowed to do this, and we were allowed to see it. And what a happy marriage that is. We've actually got some phones available, and I kind of think that's too bad. I hope you'll take care of that right now. Being the kind of people that you are, I think that's probably a done deal. I want to quickly go over the premiums with you one more time, so that if you qualify for one, you'll know what to ask for or what to expect. The book at the $150 level, it is an excellent history of the Civil War, 418 pages, hardcover, of course. At the $75 level, the compact disc of the soundtrack of the series. At the $45 level, we have the audio cassette. And at the $500 level, we have all 9 videos of the Civil War. And please understand something. We're not selling premiums here. No one is saying that the tapes are worth $500. Probably worth a lot more in content if you think about it, okay? But what we're saying is that you are making a powerful statement about quality television and telling Channel 9, not only do we want you to purchase that kind of programming, but if you have the opportunity of producing it, you bet your life. Put the proceeds aside, folks, and go for that kind of quality. Now I think we do have all of the phones going, so if you should get a busy signal, please call back. This is the last time, as far as I know, and I got it on pretty good authority, it's the last time you'll have the opportunity of subscribing your money next to a program, well, this program, the best program. Call us.
Thank you, George. Hi, I'm Tony Thomas from KMPS Radio in Seattle. At the end of the program, the discussion was brought up of who won the Civil War. A complicated subject in some ways for historians to discuss, but it's very easy when we ask the question, who wins when you subscribe to Channel 9? You win, your entire family wins, and you'll keep on winning for an entire year. You'll get your 9 magazine, a premium if you would like it tonight from one of our phone volunteers. Let us know. Call right now. And when you call, use a credit card for your pledge. It makes it so much easier for Channel 9. American Express, Visa, MasterCard, or Discover. It's up to you. It saves paperwork on Channel 9's part. Plus, you'll become an instant subscriber, an instant winner by calling Channel 9. So before you change the station, or if you're not going to stick around for our interview with Ken Burns, which we advise you to stay tuned for, go to the phone right now and subscribe.
Boy, as a Canadian, I've really had my eyes opened by this particular series. To think that 600,000 Americans died, that was a full 2% of the population killed. It was family against family. It was absolutely devastating to the country. A fascinating series, but you know, it's only part of the programming that you find on Channel 9. And one of the ways to find your way through the schedule is to get the Channel 9 magazine, which comes when you are a subscriber to Channel 9. You just have to phone in. It provides you a great opportunity to view all the different things that are happening. Feature articles in this particular month is Natalie Cole and Nat King Cole. And you'd be able to find out, for example, that there's a Faulty Tower Marathon this Saturday afternoon. So we ask you to tune in for that. And that Mystery is on this Thursday night, a brand new episode. It provides you a great opportunity. So go to the phone right now. Give us a call. It's a toll-free number. Please call right now.
He hated politicians, profiteers, sentimentalists. Above all, he hated reporters, whom he considered worse than spies because they printed military secrets just to sell newspapers.
These dirty newspaper scribblers have the impudence of Satan. They come into camp, poke about among the lazy shirks, and pick up their camp rumors and publish them as facts. They are a pest, and I treat them as spies, which in truth they are.
Isn't it amazing? I don't know, perhaps it didn't happen to you, it did to me, that a program dealing with a subject matter of, 130 years in the past can still evoke that much emotion, that much sadness, and just tremendous feeling of what in the world, happened. And then to find out what happened and why it happened and what the result was and where we have come from. That's what this was all about, and I hope you enjoyed it. Most of all, I hope you will call and support it. We've got a lot of phones available right now. We had a good little rush there right at the end from people who I think probably had the same little tear. But now I'd like to talk just to those people who have never called public television before, but for the past 3 nights have been sitting there saying, hey, I didn't know they did this. Well, we do, and we will do more of it with your support. Why don't you join the family? I think you'll like it. We have the Civil War book. One of the things it has in it, I want to get it in the center. I'm just awful. But one of the great things it has are these maps to make it just so very, very simple to understand what happened, how it happened, and where it happened. Hopefully planning a trip back to the Washington area in a couple of years and spend some real time going through those areas, and I look forward to that tremendously. The book is at the $150 level. If you can subscribe at that level, you will enjoy having this resource in your home. At the $75 level, we have the compact disc of the soundtrack, that marvelous music track that Ken Burns put together. At the $45 level, the audio cassette, and at the $500 level, all 9 videos, all 11 and a half hours of this momentous Civil War series presented by Ken Burns. I think it's kind of interesting. The people who he talked to initially told him not to do it. There was no way that he could put it onto a television screen and make it make sense. They were wrong. He could, and he did support it. Call us.
Does your support make a difference at Channel 9? You bet it does. The majority of the dollars that Channel 9 uses to acquire programs like the Civil War come from you. 61% of the income at Channel 9 comes from subscriptions, and that's what we're asking for tonight, your subscription. Certainly there are other sources of funding for Channel 9, but the majority of the dollars, the big chunk, that big 61%, is you and me and all of our friends and neighbors teamed up together that makes Channel 9 the Northwest's public television station, and that's why your call tonight is so important. Please don't put off calling tonight, right now, to Channel 9 and subscribe. If you've enjoyed watching the Civil War, if you saw only the last part of the last segment tonight, That's great. If you saw all 9 episodes this time, that's wonderful too. We want to hear from you right now. We also want to thank our phone volunteers this evening who have been talking to you, and if you haven't talked to one of them yet, call now. From Howard Johnson and Company, the consultants and actuaries, and Pacific Northwest Four-Wheel Drive Association Region 1 members and friends. And we thank them for being here. We'd like for you to talk to one of them right now. Call this number.
Well, just as Tony said with regards to the volunteers, in essence, you're a volunteer, that this is your station. Whether you live in British Columbia or Washington State, this is an opportunity for you to have a say in the programming that you want, because I know many people feel frustrated these days that they really don't have a say in how television works. Here's an opportunity. By phoning and showing what you like, what you want to see more of, it gives the people here at Channel 9 the chance to program the things that you want to see. And that can only be done by going to your phone right now and giving us a call. It's a toll-free number in both Washington State and British Columbia. So please take this opportunity and give us a call right now.
To cut off Atlanta's rail links with Richmond, Sherman sent 35-year-old General James McPherson's army east of the city. McPherson was a special favorite of Sherman's, handsome, warm-hearted, intelligent. If he lives, Sherman predicted, he'll outdistance Grant and myself. Northern papers cheered the Union advance, and daily predicted Atlanta's fall. But on July 22nd, Hood rushed to counter the new Union threat. The Battle of Atlanta had begun.
And the sound effects, it made it come alive, made it actually come alive. It is always fascinating to hear from so many people when they see this series who have had great-great-grandparents or great-great-grandfathers who served in the Civil War. I have upstairs a photocopy of a statement written by the second officer of the USS Minnesota during the Battle of the Merrimack and the Monitor, sent to me by a very nice lady here in Seattle. The man was her great-great-grandfather. It does still live. There still is that connection, and there's no two ways about it. And if you happen to be one of those people where in your background there is that ancestry, I think this is worth supporting, don't you? And knowing where you came from and where the country came with you. It was put together by a master historian who, fortunately for all of us, is still very much a part of PBS and will continue to be as long as you, the people, support him. Call us right now. This is your last shot at calling and supporting the Civil War here on Channel 9. So make up your mind, but make the call.
Thanks, George. Don't forget, we have an interview with Ken Burns coming up in just a few minutes. Ken, the man behind the massive effort of the program, The Civil War. Why are we so fascinated with the Civil War? It touches all of us, no matter whether one of the people in our family was connected directly with the war or not. The effects of the war are still felt all over the country. It's riveting. It's true life. It's Channel 9. It's the kind of unusual, unexpected, refreshing programming that you get on your public television station. If you think this kind of stuff is worth supporting, let us know on the telephone right now. We are here live for one reason, and that's to talk to you so that you can subscribe to Channel 9 and become that much more involved with what Channel 9 does. You'll get your 9 magazine every month, one of our program premiums tonight if you would like, and you'll know that you are part of what goes on here at Channel 9. When you call in, please use one of your credit cards. You could pay by check, but when you use your credit card, you'll be an instant subscriber to Channel 9, and you'll save Channel 9 internal costs. It'll cut down on postage and other costs. Call the number you see on your screen right now. Tell us what credit card you'd like to use and subscribe.
One of the really unique opportunities is something called the Corporate Match program, which is available to you when you phone in tonight if you're a member of one of the companies that's involved in the Corporate Match program that you see on your screen right now. And if your particular company isn't involved in something like this, is an opportunity perhaps for you to go tomorrow and talk to your Human Resources Department or somebody in your company to become involved. Because what happens is that your subscription, say it's a $50 level, can be doubled or even tripled through the Corporate Match program, which provides obviously more funding for Channel 9 to provide the type of programming that you want. It provides the type of money to provide different shows throughout the entire broadcast year. So we certainly would encourage you to mention that to the people that when you're calling in tonight, the volunteers, there are phones available for you right now. They can answer any questions, and the corporate match program is something perhaps you could pursue at your own work. Please give us a call. It's a toll-free call in Washington and in British Columbia.
We want to remind you that, number one, our volunteers are still here, and we'd still love for you to call, okay? Those of you who are right on the ragged edge, come on, go do it. You'll feel really good about it, and so will Channel 9, so will Ken Burns, for that matter. We want to remind you that we have one more night of pledge. Hooray, okay? It's going to be over, but it'll be Saturday night, not tomorrow night. We will not be pledging Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We will pledge on Saturday with a Faulty Towers Marathon, which is just a huge afternoon of nothing but fun. And then at 9:10 on Saturday night, it'll be kind of a viewer's choice, and far and away, the viewer's choice was Natalie Cole's Unforgettable, singing the songs of Nat King Cole. That will be at 9:10 on Saturday night. I want to thank all of the people who have called, all of the people who have subscribed so very generously tonight. You are just magnificent. I just heard that someone called in and subscribed $1,000. That's fantastic. I also want to thank the volunteers who are here tonight from Howard Johnson and Company and the Pacific Northwest Four-Wheel Drive Association Region 1. Thank you, volunteers. Give yourself a round of applause. This is a hard night to work. One of the things that you have to realize if you've ever volunteered here, that the long waits between the breaks are pretty tough on the volunteers, and you've just been outstanding tonight. Thank you. And thanks to George Madden from CHRX Radio in Vancouver. They're going like this. And thanks to Tony Thomas from KMPS. Wonderful to have them here, and wonderful to have you watching. Good night, everybody.
With matches and played with lighters and set things on fire.
Did you kids think you might have to go somewhere else?
Well, I wasn't really worried about that. I just didn't want to leave my mom.
His attitude just ain't worth a darn.
Join us for this special report on families in crisis and a new way to help them stay together. I'm Bill Moyers.
Wednesday at 9:30 on KCTS 9.
Is the recession behind us? We'll find out from Adam Smith, one of the nation's best-known commentators on business and the economy, on Serious Money, this Friday night at 9, right after Wall Street Week, here on Channel 9.
This week on Inside, the bark from these Pacific Northwest yew trees yield what's been called a miracle drug in the fight against cancer. But are we wasting a precious resource because of sloppy harvesting practices? Find out Friday night at 9:30 on Inside.